Hi kindergartners! For today's garden lesson, I'm going to show you how to make recycled paper. This way, we're not cutting down trees to make more paper. We're just using what we already have to make something new. For this, you'll need some old paper. I'm using this old newspaper. You're going to need a blender, the lid of a plastic container, and some towels, and you'll also need some water. Step 1 is to rip up the paper and put it in the blender. You should be, depends on how strong your blender is, but I'm gonna do them about this big. Ripped up about 2 sheets of newspaper and it filled my blender about half or a third way. Now I'm going to fill it up with water so all of the paper is covered. Here's our newspaper in water. We're gonna let this sit for at least an hour to get the newspaper wet, and it's gonna make it easier to turn into a pulp, which is the next step. So we have our paper that's been soaking for a little bit. Now I'm going to blend it up to turn it into a pulp, and that's what we're going to make the paper out of. Here it is all blended up. Now we're gonna pour it over a strainer like this to get the water out of that pulp. Definitely do this over the sink and pour it out and spread it around. Take your towel and press down so that more of that water comes out. You want to use flat hands, not your finger, because that could poke a hole through like that, which you don't want. So try and use flat hands. And then we will give it a tap. And there's your paper. We're going to put it on a towel to dry. You can use a plastic lid, a bowl, a towel, and some plastic wrap if you don't have a strainer. First, pour the pulp into the bowl with a towel inside. Then you are going to gently squeeze some of the water out of the pulp, but you don't need to squeeze all of the water to make it easier to still shape the paper. Then take your plastic lid, put some plastic wrap or a plastic bag around the lid. You can also use parchment paper or tin foil. And then you are going to take your squeezed out pulp and dump it on top of the lid. The lid is going to help you shape your paper into a sheet. It's okay if you don't get all of the bits. Next, just press the paper into a shape. Extra water might come out, and then just tip it into the sink. The plastic wrap keeps the paper that you're shaping from sticking to the plastic lid. It helps to not use your palm because it might stick to your palm, but using the top parts of your fingers flat. Put your paper onto a towel and gently peel it from the plastic wrap if you're using that. We have my paper from the strainer next to it, and you are going to gently pat it down so it is flat and then let it dry on the towel. To make it a little bit fancier, you could add things to your paper like flower petals, or you could even add some small seeds. This is cool because then when you're done writing on the paper, you can recycle it even further by planting it in some soil and giving it some water, and it will grow a new plant. You could also change the color by adding different colored paper to your pulp. This is some old seed paper that I made using red construction paper, and then you could cut it out into a cute heart. Why is it important to recycle paper?